BuzzFeed published a list of the worst men in rom-coms. Breaking news, it's all of them. So you know why these movies fucking suck. It's because men wrote them. We've lost all the men. So I'm reading through the list, and I agree with every single person that they listed. And number one, the whiniest baby to exist in romantic comedy, could have waited, Julie, could have waited for graphics, is Noah is the whiniest baby ever. He's like, wah, pick me, wah. You know that other guy, the one that's super successful and hot? How hot was that other guy? The Joe. He's like, hey, if you live with me, I adore you, I'll give you everything you want. She's like, no, I'm gonna go back to the country and stay with this guy. Look at the ring around his neck. Yeah, I know. I'm implying that he is stinky. So, also in this fight, when he calls her a pain in the ass, I would have taken my foot up and been like, what? You know what I mean? Like, you can't talk to me like that. I also love in like rom-coms, like shit like this and like other ones, like, you know it when they paint the guy as like an asshole, and they're like, no, he's not an asshole. You just can't handle the truth. He's too real for you girls. Like, or like Mr. Darcy syndrome. You know what I mean? I hate that I love this movie. Yeah, Mr. Darcy, he's like an asshole and he's super rude. He's totally somebody today that like would get into a fight at a house party. You know what I mean? Like, he's such a dick. Yeah. And it's like, he's not a dick. He's soft in the inside. Okay, so is a fucking jelly donut. We don't have movies about donuts. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a complete asshole. It makes sense if you don't think about it. So I tell my friends all the time too, like, fuck these movies. You have to think about, like, when we start dating somebody, we always think about, like, how, like, do they like us? What can we do for them to like us more? We have to be perfect. Don't get into a fight with them too soon. Text them right away. Send them the funniest meme. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do I keep this person intrigued with me? And men don't give a fuck if they hold a knife wrong during a date when they're cutting meat. They don't give a shit. We never think about, like, if they're, what are they doing to woo us or anything. Like, Mr. Darcy, I would have been like, hey, you know, you're kind of a dick. You know what I mean? Like, if he was trying to woo me. No, all of you guys are pro Mr. Darcy. You know what? So the fuck am I? What about, also on the list, my best friend's wedding. What a good movie. Oh my God, it's me, Julia. We end up together. Just kidding. She has it all. Julia has it all in the movie. The career, she's independent, but she needs love. And it's the guy who gets away with, like, he ends up marrying, like, Cameron Diaz, who, let's just say it, she's dumb, she's blonde, and she's super young. She's like, in the movie, she's like 22 years old. I know. And when you're 14, you're like, oh, that's the perfect age to get married. You know what I mean? Like, when you're younger, you're like 12, you're like, oh, 22, perfect. When I was 22, I was like, oh man, I think I put in this tampon wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you never, like, you're not old enough. You know what I mean? The biggest psychopath in rom-coms is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Right? Because he's like, you like oat milk? I like oat milk. We're soulmates. You know what I mean? Like, just because you have a lot in common with somebody doesn't mean they're your soulmate. Like, Molly and I have a lot in common, and she won't date me no matter how many times I ask her. Adrian in The Devil Wears Prada, if I could redo that movie, he would be there in the car. She's with Miranda Priestley. She's in the car. She's telling her about, like, how her personal life will suffer and all this shit. And I stay in the car. I call Adrian. I go, hi, yeah. You have the personal hygiene of an 18-year-old boy in a dorm. I'm leaving you for my dream job. No, we're sending somebody to get my things. Yes, I learned so much from you, like who not to date. Okay, bye, love you. And that would be the movie, right? And it's like, Tefi, you really hate these movies. I love these movies. I love these movies. In fact, this is a clip of me on Instagram of me crying to The Notebook. Play it.
Blazing and streaming into his heart. Noah stayed up all night contemplating the certain agony he would appear once or twice.
Oh, I do wish I could figure out that.
I love these movies. I really do. They taught me my go-to move as a girlfriend. It's when you storm out, you close the door, you come back, you open it with your clown makeup on, and you go, oh, you're not gonna follow me?